The Council of Velmarath had been monitoring Sol 3 for exactly 217 cycles when everything we thought we knew turned out to be catastrophically wrong. My name is Krix, Senior Analyst for the Galactic Surveillance Bureau, and I was the idiot who filed the report that classified humanity as, and I quote, harmless agricultural primitives with limited technological ambition. Yeah. About that IT started on a Tuesday, or whatever the humans call their ridiculous segmented time periods. I was 3 cups deep into my morning stimulant when the emergency beacon lit up my console like a supernova at a birthday party. Krix. My supervisor, Thendril, burst through my office membrane, his eye stalks quivering with what I would soon learn was absolute terror. The humans just destroyed a Krathian battle fleet. I laughed. Actually laughed. The Krathians were apex predators, 7 feet of armored murder with enough firepower to glass a small moon. Humans were, well, they made pleasant music and grew interesting vegetables. Thendril, did you mix your medications again? Because last time you thought the coffee machine was staging a coup. His face, all 4 sections of it, went pale green. Pull up Sector 794. Now. I pulled up the feed. Then I stopped laughing. Where the Krathian flagship had been, there was now a rapidly expanding debris field. Floating in the center of that metallic confetti was a single human vessel. It looked like someone had welded a cargo hauler to a passenger shuttle and called it a day. According to our scans, it was held together with something called duct tape and hope. It had just annihilated 17 warships in under 4 minutes. Okay, I said slowly. So maybe I missed something in my assessment. You think? Thendril's sarcasm could have stripped paint. Get to the war room. The entire council wants answers, and you're the expert on these hairless apes. The war room was packed. Every species in the Galactic Union had sent representatives, and they all looked like they'd seen their retirement plans catch fire. Ambassador Vrex of the Krathian Empire was there too, which was awkward considering his entire assault fleet was now scrap metal. Analyst Krix. High Commander Zoltar's voice could crack planets. Explain to us how a species that still uses fossil fuels just wiped out our most advanced military force. I pulled up my files, my tendrils shaking slightly. Well, Your Excellence, humans are complicated. They're not supposed to be warriors. They write poetry. They make something called pizza. They have entire competitions about throwing balls into hoops. And yet they just turned 20,000 Krathian soldiers into cosmic dust, Vrex growled, his mandibles clicking in fury. In ships that our sensors classified as cargo vessels. Right, yes, that is indeed concerning. I cleared my respiratory ports nervously. But in my defense, they've been peaceful for their entire observable history. No wars, no conflicts, nothing but farming and art and bizarre mating rituals they call dancing. Your defense is rejected. Zoltar's eyes narrowed to slits. What else have you missed? I started scrolling through the data, really looking at it for the first time. And that's when the ice water hit my circulation system. Oh no. What? Every being in the room leaned forward. Oh no 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 no. I pulled up their historical archives, the ones I'd skimmed and dismissed as fiction. This can't be right. Tell me this can't be right. What? Zoltar slammed his appendage on the table. I looked up, my voice barely a whisper. They've been at war for their entire evolutionary history. Not with us. With each other. For 10,000 cycles, they've been fighting, killing, innovating, adapting. Every single generation has known conflict. The room went silent. And about 3 cycles ago, I continued, my voice rising in pitch, they stopped. Completely. United their entire planet under one banner. Disbanded their militaries. Turned their weapons into farming equipment. So? Vrex demanded. They became peaceful. That makes them weak. No. I pulled up the combat footage again, watching frame by frame as the human ship moved with impossible precision. They didn't become peaceful. They became dormant. And when you attacked their mining colony on Epsilon 7, you didn't just provoke them. You woke them up. Commander Zoltar stood slowly. Are you telling me that humanity has been sleeping? Not sleeping, I corrected, my tendrils trembling as the full horror dawned on me. Resting. And now, the alarms started blaring. Now what? Someone screamed that I pulled up the long-range sensors, and my primary heart stopped beating. There, emerging from the Sol system like a swarm of angry insects, were ships. Thousands of them. They weren't sleek or elegant like proper warships. They looked like they'd been built in someone's garage out of spare parts and rage, and they were all heading our way. The sensors kept pinging, each new contact adding to the nightmare unfolding on our screens. 5,000 ships. 10,000. 20,000. They just kept coming, pouring out of the Sol system like someone had kicked over a hornet nest made of titanium and bad intentions. They built an invasion fleet in 3 days. My voice cracked on the last word. 3 days. Ambassador Kelvin from the Torati Federation started hyperventilating into his breathing apparatus. That's impossible. It takes cycles to construct a single destroyer. Years for a dreadnought. Yeah, well, apparently nobody told the humans about construction timelines, I muttered, watching the tactical display light up like a festival of doom. They just converted their entire industrial complex. Factories that were making personal transportation units yesterday are churning out warships today. Zoltar's face had gone from its usual purple to a sickly shade of gray. How did we not see this coming? I wanted to scream. Instead, I pulled up another file. Because we were looking at the wrong data. We saw their cities, their farms, their entertainment centers. We didn't look at their information networks. Do you know what humans do for fun, Your Excellence? They simulate war. Constantly. They have entire industries dedicated to creating fictional conflicts. So what? Vrex spat. Children's games don't win battles. These aren't children's games. I was shouting now, professionalism gone straight out the airlock. They practice strategy every single day. Millions of them, running billions of scenarios, optimizing tactics, learning from failure without ever risking actual lives. They turned peacetime into the most extensive military training program in galactic history, and we thought they were just being lazy. A communication request flashed on the main screen. It was coming from the lead human vessel. Zoltar straightened his uniform. Open the channel. Perhaps we can negotiate. The screen flickered to life, revealing a human female with pulled-back hair and eyes that looked like they'd seen galaxies burn. This is Captain Torres of the Earth Defense Initiative. You have 30 seconds to explain why you attacked our civilians. Her voice was calm. Too calm. The kind of calm that preceded volcanic eruptions and extinction events. Vrex stepped forward, puffing out his armored chest. The Krathian Empire does not negotiate with prey species. You will surrender immediately or face complete annihilation. Torres didn't even blink. Analyst Krix of the Velmarath Surveillance Bureau, are you present? How did she know my name? Why yes. Your report classified us as harmless. That was accurate. Past tense. She leaned forward. We were harmless. We chose to be harmless. But you shot first, Ambassador Vrex. You killed 347 miners. Humans who had families. Who had children. Who were just trying to extract minerals to build better farming equipment. The temperature in the room dropped about 10 degrees. Now let me tell you what happens next. Torres continued, her voice still deadly calm. You have 2 options. Option 1, you surrender unconditionally, submit to war crime tribunals, and pray we feel merciful. Option 2, you fight, and we demonstrate why every species on Earth that ever threatened humanity is now extinct. We didn't climb to the top of our food chain by accident. We outnumber you 100 to 1. Vrex roared. The combined might of the Galactic Union will crush your pathetic fleet. Torres smiled. It was the most terrifying expression I'd ever seen. Analyst Krix, pull up the file on human history. Section 14. The Winter Campaigns. My tendrils moved on autopilot, accessing the archive. What I saw made my secondary stomach turn inside out. Read it aloud, Torres commanded. During their tribal period, I began, my voice shaking, humans would sometimes face enemies with superior numbers, better equipment, and defensive advantages. The logical response would be retreat. Instead, humans would often attack during the worst possible conditions. Blizzards. Hurricanes. Night cycles. They called it choosing the time and place of battle. Keep reading, she said softly. They would accept casualties that should have broken their morale. Losses that should have ended wars. But human psychology demonstrates an unusual response to trauma in group settings. They don't break. They get angry. And human anger is a remarkably effective combat multiplier. Zoltar's command tablet slipped from his grip. You're bluffing. No species can sustain those kinds of losses. We held a city called Stalingrad for 6 months, Torres replied. Over 1 million casualties. We didn't retreat. We held the line out of pure spite. We once had a soldier named Doss who saved 75 men without ever firing a weapon. We had pilots who flew planes into enemy ships on purpose. We had warriors who fought with swords against firearms because surrender wasn't in their vocabulary. She stood up, and I could see the rest of her command crew behind her. Humans of different sizes, colors, and appearances. All of them wearing the same expression of cold determination. We spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing each other. Then we spent 200 years learning how to not kill each other. That second part was way harder. Torres walked closer to the camera. But just because we put away our weapons doesn't mean we forgot how to use them. We are humanity. We walked out of caves with sticks and rocks and conquered an entire planet. We split the atom. We touched the stars. We looked at mathematics and physics and said not good enough, we want more. The fleet was getting closer. Our defense grid showed red across every sector. Last chance, Torres said. Surrender, or learn why Earth's most popular literature genre is about surviving impossible situations. Your choice. You've got 10 seconds. Vrex opened his mouth to respond, probably something defiant and stupid. Zoltar's tentacle shot out and covered it. We surrender, the High Commander said quietly. Unconditionally. Please don't hurt us. Torres nodded. Smart. First intelligent thing anyone said all day. Stand by for boarding parties and tribunal schedules. And Analyst Krix? Yes? I squeaked. Update your report. We're not harmless. We're just very, very patient. But our patience has limits, and you found them. Don't let it happen again. The screen went dark. I slumped in my chair, exhausted, terrified, and oddly relieved. Well, Thendril said into the silence. At least they're reasonable. I looked at him. They just conquered the entire Galactic Union in 48 hours using cargo ships and spite. Our definition of reasonable might need updating. And that's the day we learned the most important lesson in galactic history. Never wake the humans. Because when they sleep, they dream of peace. But when they wake, they remember war. And humans are very, very good at war.